Hello, this is Anne Frank. I'm with Frankly Ann's Creations, and today what I want to show you is how I've been embroidering hats. I've seen that a lot of people, they will, when they put them in their hoop, they'll sandwich it in between the hoop, and I've been struggling with that. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So what I want to show you is how I've been doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this embroidery on a hat. This is a design I'm doing for my daughter's sorority. And so let's get started. So you need the hat. You need the design. Just to give you a little quickie, the design, what I did, I use Embroidery. That's a software for doing designs. And what I do, a lot of times I'll download a font, a BX font that I find on Etsy. And here I got our Greek letters, and then I picked this font. So I've practiced many times, and I highly recommend you practice before you do it on your hat, because you want to make sure you've got your design all set. So this is what we need. We need our hat. We need our machines. Today what we're going to do is I'll show you both of machines that I have. One is, both of them are brothers. One is an SE600. The other one is the NQ1600E. I started out with the SE600. That's a 4x4 machine strictly. You can get a bigger hoop if you want to extend a pattern, but you're limited to 4x4 designs. So I wanted to do much bigger designs, and that's why I chose the NQ1600E. Okay, so we'll show you those machines in a little bit. What I did originally when I found my design, I used a ruler to figure out where I want to center it on this little lip here. Or, yeah, I guess, I don't know what you call it, flap, whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, so what I did, I figured out, okay, how wide is that? And where do I want to center it? So that's why you need your ruler. You need your hoops. I use tearaway. I like tearaway because I think it's easier than cutaway. I don't like the messy back. I want to be able to rip it off and make it a little cleaner. So you want your tearaway, and what I'm using is, it's Pellon tearaway 806. And what I did, I bought it at Joanns, and I just cut it to the size that I wanted. You also are going to want to overlay the design on the hat. You're going to want a film, this Solu film. This is called Super Stable, and I'll put the link below on where I got it. I got it off of Amazon. I was using a Pellon one, but to be honest, I like this one because the Pellon one seemed crispy, and when it embroidered, it tend to rip easier. This one I think works better. So I do recommend this one, and it's called Super Stable Wash Away Water Soluble film. So, and that will lay over, and we'll show you how to do that. What else do we need? You're going to want a pencil. You are going to want pins or clips, dollar store. You know, I've used these for hooping the hats too. They work great, and I'll show you that, just how I do that. These are, what they are is they're thread. You put them over your thread to keep your thread from unwinding. I love these. And your little clips. We all know what those are, those little clips. And like I said, I'll put those, all the stuff that I'm using, a link if you need it. I'll put that down below. Masking tape, I don't know if I said that. I use that a lot. You can use painter's tape. You want a temporary adhesive, 505. This is what I'm using. And let's see, I got my list here. Oh, the thread that I'm using, I think it's just a brotherhood thread, which is your typical thread for a Brother machine. Seems to be working fine for me. And then to clean up after, I'm probably not going to include it in this email, I'm sorry, in this this video email. Okay, so I hope you can see really well here, and I apologize if the lighting is not good. So what I did, I put a piece of masking tape here. Now remember what I said on how you want to center your design, and this is just what I came up with. I wanted my design to be like, I think this is a 1/4 inch from the top of, and I don't know if you can see well with this. Okay, there's the 1/4 inch mark right there, and I wanted it to be, the top of it to be at least a 1/4 inch from there. So this is what I decided I'm going to do. I'm going to take my masking tape right here, and I'm going to mark a 1/4 inch on this masking tape. And don't worry about this. This is, I had 110 hats to do, and I've got, I think I only have like 13 or 14 left. So, it's kind of eyeballing a lot now. Okay, so you see I've got that. I've got my hoop, and I'm going to show you how I hoop it. So the first thing I do, you want to make sure this is open enough, and you are going to put your stabilizer in there. And you can see I've been using this a lot. The spray kind of makes a mess of it, but that's fine. It does its purpose. And you can see I also marked over on each side where the bottom of the hoop. They do come with a guide, and hold on one second. Okay, just to show you. They do come with a guide, which this is how I came up with this line here. Is it's got these little holes, and that tells you where your embroidery location is. You don't want to go outside of there. Okay, so first thing I do, I take my little ruler, trusty Taekwondo pencil, and I'm just going to draw a line here. Why I'm doing that, I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to just spray that a little bit, and I'm taking my hat. Now remember, this is the hat. We want the design to be right here. So what I'm doing here is the tags in the back. So I'm going to fold it like this to find my center point, and I take a pin, and like I said, I've done a lot of these, so I don't worry about it not being perfect. When you put your hat on, do you really make sure that the design is centered? You usually just put your hat on. Okay, so you can see that's where it is. Now, again, remember, you want this to be up. This is where your design's going to be. So I'm turning this inside out, and that's the flap that is going to be flipped up when it's on your head. And I'm going to take my hat. Whoops, there goes my pencil. And I know that this is the bottom of my design square. And I apologize, I don't use all the correct terminology, but that's okay. Okay, so there I lined this up on the bottom, and it's nice and sticky. So I'm going to do that. Now, why did I draw that line on the masking tape? Just take a piece. And remember I said I wanted at least a quarter, I want at least a 1/4 inch from the top and where my design. So I'm just using this as just a general guide. So I take my tape and I put this where the line is matching up with the edge of the hat. and that's giving me my 1/4 inch, and I just tape it down like that. Okay, so I know when I put it in the machine, that's my bottom mark. I don't want to go any further this way. I don't want to be too further that way. So now I've got this. Now, what I do, we need to secure this nicely. So right here, I've got some paper. So I either, like I said, I either use pins or clips or everything that I can possibly. See how, you're going to laugh, but some of my pins are a little bent. So what I can do because of that, I'm going to just take my pin, and if I turn it right, I can get that to stay down like that. If not, what you're going to do, just take a piece of tape. You're going to tape the heck out of this thing. It doesn't matter, you know, it's going to come off. So you want this is where your design's going to be. So you want that to be nice and flat. So now I'm going to take my film. And the film, you'll notice there's a smooth side and there's kind of a bumpy side. Obviously, the bumpy side is going to go down because that's going to help hold it in place. I found that it's best for me to take a big piece of tape and make it nice and taut on the top and make it nice and taut on the bottom. So this is going to stay in place nicely. Okay, now you've got that on the back, right? Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to swear. Okay, let me make sure. I forgot to point this out. See, this is good because you're going to learn from my mistakes. Make sure your hoop is tight. That's why you want to do that. Okay, and the hoop that I'm hooping right now, it's for the Brother 600, and I've already got one in the machine that's halfway done for the other machine, and I'll show you both of them running so you can see the difference. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm pulling the back of the hat up because we want that out of the way. Now this is where these clips come in handy. You can either use a pin or a clip or whatever. I'll show you how I use this one. Right here. This, see how it grabs it? I think that's awesome. So that worked out well for me there. But I've noticed that if they've been used quite a lot and they've stretched out, they don't work as well. So you can use any of them. If you need to clip something over here to make that a little tighter, you can do that. Just as long as these clips aren't going to interfere with the machine. So, okay, so now we have that hooped. Now we're going to go over to the machine, and I'm going to show you how to set up your design. So let's pause. Okay. First, I think what I'm going to do is I want to show you how I got to this point. So what I want to show you here, this is the Brother SE600. If you are just starting out and you don't have a lot of money to spend, you can't afford a couple thousand, I think this is a great starter machine. I love it. It can also, you can use it for quilting or regular sewing. So when I first started, I wanted a sewing machine and an embroidery machine. This was perfect for me, so I do recommend it. So, okay, we have our design on the USB that we put on there from my computer, and it's on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm choosing that option on here, and I hope you can see. You probably can't see the screen that close up, but I apologize. This isn't really a video to show you that anyways, but okay, and I've got it in this folder. Here are some other designs that I have in here. So we're going to go forward till we get to the one we want, which is this one. Okay, now notice, remember on the hat, that's facing this way up. But the way I hooped it the hat in the hoop, this is the top. So the first thing we need to do is rotate our design, and you can rotate it by 90 degrees. 90 degrees turns it that way, and another 90 will flip it over. So now it's upside down. So I'm going to put in my hoop like that, and you can see it's in there. I'm just going to trim this just a little bit. Okay, so the design's in here. So we're going to click on OK. And we do need to move it. However, I'm going to do end edit. And the machine, I apologize. Those are my angry birds. There's this nice option here, which will show you the square. It's this little, you can see the little square arrow here. Okay, what this shows you is the position of your needle. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and hopefully tip this. I'm sorry for shaking you up. I hope you can see. Okay, so remember, here's my masking tape. That's the top of my rim. I don't want to go any further than that. So there's the bottom of where the design is on the screen. So what we want to do, we want to move, really? Oh, I may have to take a time out if they keep making noise. One bird is yelling at the other bird to come in this room because obviously they want to be the center of attention. Okay, what you can see is I'm moving this closer. Okay, I'm right on top of that masking tape, so I went too far. Shoot, the battery. Sorry. Okay, we're back. All right, I'm going to stop for a minute. Hold on. I'm back. We're going to ignore them because it's... Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm moving this up so that the needle is above my masking tape line. Okay, so I have it there. And again, nice thing about this part, the little square thing, is you can check all of your corners. So you can see it's moving. You can check your top corner to see where it is located there. And I could have marked up here. And actually, when I first started doing these hats, I did. But then I found that I didn't need to because I knew where my middle part was from the first one I did when I practiced. Okay, so now let's move it to the center. So we have it in the location we want it on the hat. So we are going to click on embroidery. And again, everything's nice and smooth. So put our foot down and push the green arrow go. And I just want to show you this. So we're starting to stitch. And one thing I do recommend is this is a design you don't want to walk away from. You kind of want to keep an eye on it when you've hooped your design on top of it. Because remember, this is laying and sometimes things do, if you don't have it taped in there well enough or clipped in, it will shift. So this is the Brother SE600. And that's doing that. I'm going to stop this. You can see it going. I'm going to stop this because what I want you to do is see my other machine. I want you to see the NQ1600E, just so you can see the difference in how fast the two embroider. This one, it says it's going to take this design 12 minutes to finish. So let me just pause this because the noise will drive you crazy. And again, I'm going to shift you over here to this machine. And again, this is my NQ. And everything here basically on the screen is pretty much the same. It gives you the you know, the ability to, I had to flip the design again the same way. I did hoop this one a little bit differently just because of the size. The hoop gets in the way, and I couldn't use a clip. There's this thing back here that was interfering. If I used a big clip back there, it would get in the way. So I actually pinned it in the back on this hoop. But basically, same thing. You can see tape, 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 everything. It's tape. It's got the square thing. This NQ, the up and down foot, it doesn't have the lever this way. It has a nice little button. And let me just, this one here, 8 minutes it'll take. So this one's quicker by 4 minutes, which I think is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this machine. I like it. It seems to be working well. This one does not have the sewing ability though. It just has, it's strictly machine embroidery, but it comes with a 6x11 option. So I can embroider something up to 6x11. And here we go. It's embroidering, and we'll just let this run a little bit so you can see. I did, I was able to get a this was a 4x4 hoop that I was able to purchase for this machine. And you can see I do not have, well, you can't really see it, but I'm just going to tip it up a little. I don't have the thread in here. What I'm using is one of those big thread things. I basically just set it behind the machine, and I've got a thread holder that holds it up and just threaded it that way. Same with the other machine. I'm using the, let me see, the bigger sized thread spool. And here it's going. So that's basically how I do mine. And I'll show you when this one finishes, we'll show you and take it out and let you see. I'll pause. So now we have our finished product, and you're just gonna simply take all your pins and clips and whatnot off and rip this off. Masking tape, and a lot of times I save the tape and I just use it for the next one. Like I said, I've been doing 100 of these, so let's see if I can get this off. And I'm going to bring the camera over here again. Okay, so what I do next is I just clean off this. Like I said, it's water soluble. So this side, I rip off some of it, and then I spray it. I'll just show you quickly. Let me bring you over here. Sorry. Again, I'm making you all dizzy. Tip this down. Okay, so to clean this off, I'll just take my little snips here and trim these little threads. This one. This. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I do use these little lint roller things to get off whatever is sticking on there. So that's always a good idea too. All right, so how does this work? In case you don't know, just spray it, and you can see it. Well, you might not be able to see it very well in the camera, but you can see it starting to dissolve already. And I just do that. Hit it this stuff off and ta-da, it's gone. So then I'll clean off the other side a little bit, and here you go. There's the hat, and because it's still damp, I'll just set it out and let it dry before I gotta pack these up and mail them to my daughter to college. And so like I said, I'll just let them dry. So there's your design. You can just fluff up your hand a little. And that's it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time I do another video. Thank you. Bye.